You slaves always request for dua. You slaves always request for dua. Please fulfill the wish of every helpless, Ya Allah. Please fulfill the wish of every helpless, Ya Allah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya wal Mursaleen. Amma ba'd, fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. As-salatu wa salamu alayka ya Rasulallah.
Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah.
Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah.
Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah.
Salatu wa salamu alayka ya Nabiyyallah.
Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyyallah.
Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Noorallah.
Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Noorallah.
My dear Islam brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, welcome back to our program Spiritual Cures. We've got a very important and a special wazifa for today as well. But nevertheless, Alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal, this program, remember, is your program. Ya MashaAllah, we've got Sawar Bhai in the studio. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. Jazakallah khaira. First question we had today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can I please request a wazifa to read for exams that are coming up for my Jamia? Yeah, mashallah, for Jamia exams, I think I need that as well. So hopefully, inshallah, we'll ask Maulana Sahab to give us the exams. He's been through all of the exams, and we'll get some tips from him as well, inshallah, how he passed through his exams as well. Ji. Another message that came. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is there anything that I could read for my little daughter who is at home? She is not well most of the time and we are quite worried about her. Inshallah. You haven't mentioned what problems she is facing or what illness she has, but inshallah we'll give you a general wazifa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A few weeks ago, we were watching your program and regarding someone who wanted to sell a house. I also want to put my house on the market. Is there anything that I could read so that it gets sold quickly?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In regards to the child who stays ill quite often, like you mentioned, the particular illness wasn't mentioned, so I'm giving you a general spiritual cure. If they write Ya Ghafuru, Ya Ghafuru, Ya Ghafuru 3 times upon a piece of paper, make it into an amulet and get the child to wear it either around the neck or around the arm, inshallah Azza wa Jal, this will be a means of cure for the child, inshallah. In regards to exams, for 7 days, recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim 786 times. Okay. 786 times Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Durood Sharif once before and after. You need to do this for consecutive 7 days.
786 times.
Yeah, Bismillah
Rahmanir Rahim.
I know it sounds like so a lot, but you know,
it only takes a few minutes anyway, inshallah. Inshallah. And what will happen with that? We'll pass the exams.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
You wanted to know what I was doing. Alhamdulillah. It's a spiritual cure. I've mentioned it on Madani Channel on the program before as well. Something which I used to do every time.
What about some tips as well from yourself?
Tips?
We read this wazifa, yeah.
So this wazifa obviously you're going to do, but the one which I used to particularly make sure I do was Ya Nafi'u. Ya Nafi'u, Ya Nafi'u, Ya Nafi'u. 20 times, Durood Sharif before and after. Make dua before you actually start the paper. Make sure you read through all the questions. Completely read through the questions, and those that you find, or for example, while you're reading through, the answers are already in your mind. Aim for them first. So those that you know straight away, answer them first, get them out of the way, and then work towards the harder ones. And then you'll have more time to spend on them. Think about them, and inshallah. And what I noticed was sometimes you don't know and you remember, alhamdulillah. So spiritual cures do work.
Yeah, no, definitely, alhamdulillah.
This particular spiritual cure, I mean, I was using success in any good work that you're going to start.
MashaAllah. Now listen, it doesn't mean that we don't revise. You know, the Sahur Bhai did not say that you don't have to revise, just read that. You've got to revise as well. So make sure that before your exam comes, you've done the book many times. And I know, mashallah, as well, those people who are, alhamdulillah, you know, talented, and those who are really, really serious into it, they've done the book many, many times. And inshallah as well, you will pass, inshallah. Ji.
So in regards to the sale of property,
Ji.
so I haven't got the verse here. I've got this reference, so I won't be able to read the verse. It mentions that recite this particular verse and perform dam upon the property that you're wanting to sell. So in this case, I think the brother was wanting to sell a house, but it doesn't limit it. This actual spiritual cure, sale of any type of property. So it doesn't limit it to house. So if somebody's got a car they're wanting to sell, or any other type of land, maybe, you know,
any property,
any type of property. So you'll recite this particular verse and then perform dam upon that property that you're wanting to sell. Inshallah, it will get sold. The reference of it is chapter 13, Surah Yusuf, verse number 80.
Okay, the whole ayat, yeah? Inshallah. Shall I read it once so that people... فَلَمَّا اسْتَيْأَسُوا مِنْهُ خَلَصُوا نَجِيًّا قَالَ كَبِيرُهُمْ أَلَمْ تَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ أَبَاكُمْ قَدْ أَخَذَ عَلَيْكُمْ مَوْثِقًا مِنَ اللَّهِ وَمِنْ قَبْلُ مَا فَرَّطْتُمْ فِي يُوسُفَ فَلَنْ أَبْرَحَ الْأَرْضَ حَتَّى يَأْذَنَ لِي أَبِي أَوْ يَحْكُمَ اللَّهُ لِي وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الْحَاكِمِينَ. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, if there's anything that you wish to sell, your house, your property, your cars, or anything, then inshallah, Surah Yusuf, para number 13, and it's verse number 80. And I'll tell you, it's the fourth ruku starts from there. So inshallah, try to read that one verse. Do they blow on the property, you said, yeah? They blow on the property, okay, inshallah. So blow on whatever you want to sell, inshallah, Allah Ta'ala will inshallah help you from
make
the
means
unseen
of
as well, inshallah. Allah
means
Ta'ala
of,
make means as well. And alhamdulillah, like we mentioned before as well, you know, these spiritual cures, alhamdulillah, they work wonders seriously, because we all trust in Allah. And when you read these wazaifs, what you are doing actually is you are putting your trust in Allah Azza wa Jal, and inshallah in that way you're getting the blessings and the barakat as well, inshallah. Yeah, I've got another message from someone that I know. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Madina, can you please tell us any spiritual cure or any wazifa that we could be reading, because we do get scared at night. Our house is not in a built up area, but we are like in a secluded area. Please give us something to read. So basically they might be living in a field or somewhere.
So it's just general fear, not
fear, yeah.
Okay, so this particular spiritual cure for fear, a person can recite it themselves and perform dam upon themselves. If for any reason, like for example here, it's a family, and there is some small child that's unable to read, in that case, the parents can recite, read the spiritual cure and perform dam upon the child as well. For the very smaller ones. So this particular spiritual cure, Ya Hafizu, Ya Hafizu, Ya Hafizu, 16 times with Durood Sharif before and after, and perform dam upon yourself. Inshallah, the fear will go away, inshallah.
Inshallah. And to be honest with you, fear is something which is natural, but if you look at it really, there's a lot of things that we do fear, but we don't fear Rabb Azza wa Jal. And Amir al-Sunnah mentions that many times as well, that we fear the black cat, we'll fear the animals, we'll even fear losing a job, we'll fear something attacking us or like that. But whenever we miss our salah, do we even have any fear regarding the consequences on the day of judgment, or even before you die as well? Another thing is, sometimes, parents, they will scare their own children. Blai jasiya, bawa jasiya, all this, yeah. Now what will happen is the children will get scared. And Amir al-Sunnah mentions that we shouldn't do that to our children, because it'll make them, weak, and it'll make them fearful all the time. So never ever do that to your children. And inshallah, you'll see that your children will be, inshallah,
it mentions here that a person who practices this spiritual cure, this amal, inshallah he'll become brave.
Inshallah.
But something I was just looking at, which is just below this particular spiritual cure, mashallah, it says someone who wants to instill the fear of Allah in his heart.
MashaAllah.
There's a spiritual cure for this, alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah.
Whoever recites this, he'll achieve the fear of Allah.
You know, they say that the scholars, they mention that, you know, you either fear Allah or you fear the world. Yeah. So if you have the true fear of Allah in your heart, then you won't fear the world. And nowadays we see the majority of the people, you know, we're all scared of the dunya, we're all scared of losing the dunya. Whatever is written in our destiny, obviously we will always get that, whatever is written for us. It's not going to be that, you know, my food was written down for me and I won't be able to eat it, or this much amount of money was written down for me when I work and I'm not going to get that. You know, it's never that case. But we need to understand that, you know, how we live our lives and how, you know, we, live according to our beautiful deen as well, inshallah.
See, what's not written down for you to achieve, you'll never gain.
Ji, beshak. Someone sent in a message. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I have a driving test coming up very soon. And could you please tell me anything that I could read that I will pass this time round, as I have failed a few times?
There's a particular spiritual cure, Afzab.
For a driving test?
For Ji.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah, a lot of people have given the good, you know, when you give somebody a spiritual cure, sometimes you get like feedback.
Ji.
So I've had feedback for this, alhamdulillah, and people, mashallah, have passed and they've failed on like numerous.
The feedback, or do you get mutained above it as well?
No, just the feedback.
Okay.
That's sufficient for us. Alhamdulillah. Ji. So in regards to this, from, obviously dates not being mentioned when the driving test is, but on a daily basis, right up to the driving test, if they can act upon this spiritual cure, and it's Ya Allahu, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahimu, Ya Allahu, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahimu. So at the time of Asr, once you've prayed your Asr Salah, remain on the prayer mat and continuously recite this spiritual cure, Ya Allahu, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahimu, right until there's approximately 11 or 12 minutes left for the sun to set, i.e. Maghrib time to start. Then stop this spiritual cure, raise your hands in the court of Allah and ask for whatever jaiz hajat, and in this case, you got a driving test that you're wanting to pass. If they do this on a daily basis, inshallah, right up to the test, and especially on a Friday, because it's mentioned that on that the special day of this spiritual cure is a Friday. So hopefully, if they've got a Friday that's coming in between now and until the driving test, inshallah, but do this on a daily basis, inshallah. May Allah make you one who sends in a message as well.
Inshallah. I've got another message. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please, could you give me something to read or do something, as we are very, very saddened that our family is always in feuds, is always fights, and everyone starts blaming for everything and threatening each other. So you haven't mentioned if it's the immediate family, basically if you're living around, or maybe it's that your rishtedar, as they say, your relatives. And even if that is the case, nowadays, you know, illa mashallah, is that if there's any house that is not, you know, if we don't have a feud, but, you know, so what we need to understand is, inshallah, we'll give you the istikhara wazifa first, and then inshallah I'll tell you a few things as well.
Well, like you've mentioned in the message, that a lot of it seems to be many household members, not just the one or two. It's not like just a couple, you know, the husband and wife, etc. It seems like quite a few members of the family. So this particular spiritual cure came to my mind straight away in regards to this domestic dispute type problem. That if you recite Ya Wadudu, Ya Wadudu, Ya Wadudu 1001 times and perform Dam upon Lahori salt, Lahori Nimak, which is Himalayan salt. Perform Dam upon that Lahori Nimak, and then use it in the household, or mix it into the household salt and use as normal as you do on cooking and upon, you know, sprinkling upon food and salad, etc. So use as normal, inshallah, peace and love and harmony, inshallah, will develop into the hearts, inshallah.
We've got our special wazifa for today that we're going to give you. So inshallah, if you're ready, we can talk about the special wazifa. Now, if you're watching at home, you can make notes or take a picture if you want on the screen, because we've got a graphic as well for you to see as well.
You slaves always request for dua.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today's spiritual cure is for those unfortunate, should we say, who haven't been blessed with children. So those who haven't been blessed with children and they desire that Allah Azza wa Jal give them some happiness through the means of children, can recite this particular spiritual cure, which is for childlessness. And it's mentioned that after each salah, recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim 300 times. So after each salah, recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim 300 times. Now the husband as well as the wife can perform amal upon this. Inshallah, if Allah wills, you will be blessed with children.
MashaAllah. We've got some more messages. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like some help, please. I keep feeling very low mood and severe anxiety. My body feels like it's burning and I can't sleep. Feel sick all the time. I can't control my thoughts and I feel like I am being affected by something. Please, can you advise me? Inshallah. Please, can you do istikhara for my brother? He fights with his wife and he drinks alcohol. Please help because he refuses to listen to us. Password, Ya Allah. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My husband's behavior is very scary. He gets angry and breaks things. I'm so scared. I have 2 kids. Please pray and do istikhara. Please name. Okay. Allah Ta'ala make it easier for you. Inshallah. Azza wa Jal. Salam, my brothers. Hope you are okay. Madina. My name is mom's name. Can you do istikhara for me, brothers? I'm not feeling. Can you do istikhara for me, brothers? I'm not feeling well and I can't find a job. Code word Attari, inshallah azza wa jal. Yes, we would do istikhara and inshallah azza wa jal will pass that on as well.
Yeah, Sahab, regarding the message that you mentioned where the person was suffering with the anxiety and a lot of other problems that were added to that, which was, some of them will be due to the anxiety and some maybe other problems. There's this very specific spiritual cure that I've just taken out, mashallah, very tried and tested as well. And I'll just, some of the, because it's not just for anxiety, it's also some illnesses and problems. I'll just like to mention some here, that those people who are, because it's like a broad spiritual cure, where anxiety is also covered. So those viewers who are listening, if any of these problems tick the boxes for you, it's also one for you to take note of as well. Anybody who suffers from physical illnesses, tension, depression, evil effects, magic, evil eye, evil or evils or even obstacles in things, you know, for example, they're trying to do something and they're never successful with it, etc. As well as family disputes. This is also good for that as well. Anxieties and also problems in the household, and even to attain peace, a peaceful environment in the home. And it's mentioned that in the 2 sunnahs before Fajr, the 2 sunnahs after Zohar Farz, and the 2 sunnahs after Maghrib, and the 2 sunnahs after Isha. So in them 2 sunnahs, recite the last 6 surahs with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim each time. So in the first rakat, you read the first 3. So you'll, for example, after Surah Fatiha, you'll recite Surah Kafirun, Surah An-Nasr, and Surah Lahab. And then in the second rakat, after Surah Fatiha, you'll recite Surah Ikhlas, Surah Falak, and Surah Nas. But each surah that you recite, you need to recite with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And if you continue this until your problem is solved or issues are relieved, etc., inshallah, very powerful and tried and tested amal. The two sunnahs of Fajr, the two sunnahs after the farz of Zohr, the two sunnahs after the farz of Maghrib, and the two sunnahs after the farz of Isha. You need to recite the last 6 surahs of the Quran, 3 in the first unit and 3 in the second unit. And the first 3, the one in the first unit will be Surah Kafirun, Surah An-Nasr, and Surah Lahab. I think these names might not even. So Surah Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, Surah Idha Jaa Nasrullah, and Surah Tabbat Yada.
Yeah.
And then in the second rakat, Surah Ikhlas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, and Qul A'udhu Birabbin Nas. I think that would be.
MashaAllah, that was beautifully explained.
Jazakallah.
MashaAllah, Allah Ta'ala remove all the problems as well, inshallah. So inshallah, hopefully we should be getting some results back from the istikhara. As soon as we get them, we'll give you the answers for them as well. Where it says that my husband's behavior is very scary, he gets angry and breaks things. Now we need to understand that here, if anyone, if it could be the husband, it could be the wife that is getting angry. And what we need to do is that, look, fire does not extinguish fire. It's always the water that extinguishes fire. Now, if the husband and wife are arguing and no one's backing off, then what's going to happen? You're going to get heated arguments, and Allah Ta'ala forbid, sometimes these arguments will lead into divorce as well, and then you'll be running around to Mufti Sahib trying to find out if divorce has taken place. And there's so many people, and these things happen so many times. So what we need to do is, Allah Ta'ala forbid, number one is we need to create an Islamic environment at home. Inshallah, so once you have an Islamic environment at home, obviously you'll know the rights of the husband will know the rights of the wife, and then you won't have these kind of arguments in the beginning anyway. But if you do have arguments, then at least someone has to pull back. Yeah, most of the time it's the wife that will pull back, but sometimes the wives will not be pulling back, and they'll be pressing forward and fighting their corner as well. And then what will happen is, astaghfirullah, if you have kids, and I've seen this, to be honest with you, there was a case the other day where the social services have taken the children away because of the parents arguing, and obviously they're not even looking at the interest of the children, and it's and I don't even know if they've got the children back now as well. So you're going to be putting yourself into a lot of problems. So number one is back off. As they say, sometimes you've got to lose to win. Now, if you lose, maybe, your husband, if he's angry too much and the wife backs off, the husband will say, yeah, she's always scared of me. Just say that. Or the husband, he doesn't want an argument, he doesn't want to break up his house. So what happens is the wife will be thinking to herself that my husband's scared of me, I can control him, I've got him under my thumb now. All these kind of things, And when people come out with these stories, it's just amazing, how people, just over, superiority. Yeah, I'm more better than him, I'm more superior than him. No one is superior than anyone. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. If you are pious, then you are better than someone. If you are not pious, you don't even offer your salah, you don't read the Quran, then, you might be a millionaire, but to be honest with you, you're nothing. Yeah, so be a piety is the most important.
That's
thing
something
that
they should compete with.
Piety.
Compete in the piety.
Because scholars, they mention that the hereafter is what we need to strive hard for. If you look at Sayyida Asiya radiallahu ta'ala anha, the wife of Fir'aun, the Pharaoh. Yeah, mashallah, she's mentioned in the Quran. Yeah, she's mentioned in the Quran, and she was a very, very pious woman, but yet she was tortured, she was hate, and she was sworn at. But alhamdulillah, she stood steadfast, and Allah Ta'ala has mentioned her piety and her taqwa inside the glorious Quran. Sayyida Maryam radiallahu ta'ala anha, she lived a very, very hard life as well, in a sense that the people always were there, trying to assassinate Sayyidina Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, and she was the mother. And then again, if you look at the wives of the beloved Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam, they were so, they were persecuted by the people of Makkah. They had to migrate, they went through so many problems. And even one of the daughters of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she was tortured so much that she lost her pregnancy because of that. So these women, they did sabr. So follow their footsteps. Don't be having arguments at home with your husband. And husbands should realize that why you arguing, with a woman for, and the woman should understand that Allah Ta'ala has given a status to the husband that He's made him the leader of the house. When you start to listen to these things, there's never a case where, men are better than women. No, alhamdulillah, men are better than women. If they are pious, women are better than men. We have women of Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, the Azwaj Mutahharat, Sayyidah Fatima, Sayyidah Zainab, and also Rabia Basariya. These kind of women, which man amongst us is going to be pious than them? So alhamdulillah, please try to remember these kind of things. Always try to look for a way to diffuse things, not to make things hard for the whole family. And then what will happen is sometimes people support you. Chika lagiro, do it. Make sure that you don't back off. And the husband's family, at the end of the day, this family is just gonna, when things start to break up, no one's gonna come forward and support you. No one is going to come forward. They might just shed a few tears, and in a few days or weeks they'll stand by you, but no one's going to stand by you forever. So think of these consequences before you do any of these things. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wanted to know, there is a lot of arguments in my marriage that are basically taking place. We are watching your program, and what the issues that you have mentioned are also in our home as well. We have listened to what you have said, and we are going to make the intention not to argue again. MashaAllah, that's that's heart to heart, as we say. Feedback, MashaAllah, that's good. End of the day, look, it's not going to benefit me, because if it's your family, then you need to be steadfast. You need to be helping each other. You need to be mindful of each other's, especially the rights of each other. And that's how you're going to get a better family, inshallah, a better house, inshallah, azza wa jal. I got another message, so we just come in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is there anything that I could read? I have lost my gold and cannot find it. We've got one istikhara that has come back, and it was someone who wanted an istikhara for he says that he fights with his wife and he drinks alcohol. Password Ya Allah. The istikhara has been done and it's come back as clear, so there is no signs of evil eye or no sign of magic as well.
This is want to get rid of bad habits, also to make the husband pious and salah offering, inshallah. So for this particular, so husband to become righteous and salah offering. So this particular spiritual cure mentions that recite Surah Fatiha 11 times with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim each time, Durood Sharif before and after, perform dam upon some water, and then give that water to consume to the husband.
Inshallah.
One way or another. Inshallah.
Istikhara has been done. Code word green, and istikhara was regarding getting an infection in the nose. Istikhara has come back as azmaish. Azmaish means a test from Allah Azza wa Jal. So if you are taking medications, please carry on taking your medications as well. Also for any types of illnesses, there is a very beautiful wazifa, Ya Salamu, 111 times. Read Ya Salamu. Salam is the one of the, mashallah, attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. And there's so much power in that name as well. So recite Ya Salamu 111 times.
It mentions apart from death, there's cure for every illness.
MashaAllah.
Regarding this particular spiritual cure.
Alhamdulillah. Another istikhara has been done. Code word was Attari, and he was an Islam brother from Keithley, I think he was. Istikhara has come back as clear. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for helping me a few weeks ago. My son was always angry and arguing with me, and you gave me a wazifa to read. MashaAllah, he became a changed person. He's so calm, kind to not just me but everyone. You said he had nazar. Thank you again. MashaAllah. So it's good news, alhamdulillah. And we do get happy, we do feel MashaAllah happy when we get this good news. May Allah Ta'ala give him more success.
Allah Ta'ala grant him steadfastness in his patience.
Another way that we could change our children is to take them on the Madani Qafile of Dawat Islami. Alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal. We have the monthly retreats as well. We have the Madani Qafile, and we also have the weekly Ijtima. We have the Dars of Fezan Sunnah. There's so many things. Madrasatul Madina Balighan. Try to involve your children in these Madani works as well. And inshallah, once they're engrossed into that and they feel part of that, inshallah, you'll see that they'll start to help the deen. And because of helping the deen, Allah Ta'ala will help them as well, inshallah.
Asab, you asked for a wazifa, somebody's lost their gold.
Ji.
So this particular...
we don't know how many tons of gold they've lost, but whatever they've lost, they've lost.
This particular spiritual cure is not just for gold, it's any property that you...
For silver as well.
Silver as well, ji. Even a car, you lose a car as well.
Right.
So this one for lost property, inshallah. It mentions that recite La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah 1008 times. 1008 times Durood Sharif before and after, and it mentions that the duration is until the lost property is found. So until the aim is fulfilled, inshallah.
Inshallah.
The reference for this is Scorpion on a Frog, page 23.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Istikhara for me, please. I have developed severe eyes allergy and this condition leading to loss of vision in eye health.
Also in regards to the brother that you mentioned with the eye problem that is facing and or the illness that you mentioned, and it could result in him losing his eyesight as well. This particular spiritual cure is for those whose eyesight has either become weak or there's problems with it, or even to the extent that somebody has lost their eyesight. And it mentions to do the spiritual cure for 7 consecutive days, and you need to recite Ya Rahmanu Ya Rahimu Ya Allahu Ya Salamu. Ya Rahmanu Ya Rahimu Ya Allahu Ya Salamu. Ya Rahmanu Ya Rahimu Ya Allahu Ya Salamu. You need to recite this 41 times with Durood Sharif once before and once after. Take some water into your hands, perform Dam upon that water once you have completed the spiritual cure, and then rub that water onto the eyes. Do this for a duration of 7 days. Inshallah, if the eyes are infected, inshallah, they will be cured. If the if the eyesight has been weakened, inshallah, that will sharpen. And if eyesight is completely lost, inshallah, if Allah wills, it will be regained as well.
Inshallah. We got, mashallah, another istikhara answer. Code word was apple regarding someone's eyesight. The Tawbah gave us a wazifa and it's mentioned illness. So obviously you would be taking medication. So please carry on taking the medications, and inshallah Azza wa Jal, Allah Ta'ala will give shifa kamila as well. Inshallah, try to read the wazifa that was given, and inshallah things will improve as well. Now Madani Qafile, I've had some brothers, mashallah, as well, who said that they were traveling on the Madani Qafila, and they had this one particular person who used to have a lot of stomach problems. He used to have pains in the stomach. And he goes, the first time I went on the Madani Qafila with the intention that I heard from the Muballighin that when you travel on the Madani Qafila, you're in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal, your du'as are accepted. So he said that, alhamdulillah, we had a study circle in the morning, and I used to say to the brothers, make dua for me, I've got these stomach ulcers. And alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal, Allah Ta'ala gave him shifa during that Madani Qafila. Where brothers were making dua for him. So please remember, Madani Qafila is a very, very important part of our Madani work in Dawat Islami as well. Those people who are suffering from problems, Islamic sisters, obviously, they will not be able to go on the Madani Qafila, but you can send your husbands, your brothers, your sons, your nephews on the Madani Qafila, and try to convince them to go on the Madani Qafila and ask them to make dua for you as well. So many brothers who have traveled on the Madani Qafila. I know for a brother who traveled on a 12-day Madani Qafila. I was with that Madani Qafila, and his mom was going into an operation theatre the next morning because of a disease. But alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal, in the morning when we had our study circle, in Fajr, after Fajr study circle, he was so excited, he was so happy. He goes, alhamdulillah, I've just been told by my dad that mom's operation has been cancelled because they said that we don't need to do the operation. Inshallah, we'll give her medication, and the whatever we wanted to do in the operation has cleared off itself 90%. The rest will be cleared off by the medication we'll give her. So Alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal. So if you have people who are ill in your family, send them on the Madani Qafila. What happens on the Madani Qafila? You get the opportunity to offer your 5 times salah with the Jamaat. You have the opportunity to sit down with brothers and learn about the importance and the basic knowledge of the deen as well. A lot of people sometimes they say, oh, we get a day off on a Saturday or a Sunday, we want to spend it with our family. Why not? But at least once a month, why do we not sacrifice that and go with the brothers and travel?
Well, spend 3 weeks with your family, inshallah.
Yeah, and give one for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And inshallah you're gonna benefit from that as well. So Alhamdulillah, weekly ijtimas, Thursday. Alhamdulillah, did you go to the weekly ijtima? Islamic sisters weekly ijtimas, there's sometimes during the day and also weekends as well. So try to attach yourself to Dawat Islami. There is no negativity, in attaching yourself. The shaitan will obviously stop you. Don't do that. This is what these guys will do. We've had a case where the Islam brother never traveled on the Madani Qafila because someone told him that they don't even sleep at night. I wish that was the case. Yeah, we get our 8 hours sleep for hiccups, wazifa.
If you take 2 cloves, long, keep them into your mouth and keep suckling on them. So the juices that
clove juice
to keep swallowing, inshallah, and the hiccups will cease.
Inshallah.
It mentions they immediately.
They will stop. Inshallah. So 2 cloves, keep sucking on them. Inshallah as well, the juice will make the hiccups stop. May Allah Ta'ala all guide us and help us all. Jazakallah for watching. Inshallah, we'll see you next week in our Spiritual Cures program. Same time. Take care of yourself and keep watching Madani Channel. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad.
You slaves always request for dua. You slaves always request for dua. Please fulfill the wish of every helpless, Ya Allah. Please fulfill the wish of every helpless, Ya Allah.